From the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast, this is AgDay.
From carving a new path
We've got a lot of different things going on every day.
to blazing a trail,
I grew up as a farm girl and I loved it, and I always wanted to be a farm girl. So even though I'm this age, I'm still a farm girl.
meet this year's Top Producer Award winners who are focused on their farms, their families, and the future.
God's promised us all increase if we work hard and do our part. Boy, He certainly fulfilled His promise to me and my family.
Their inspiring stories right now on AgDay. Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. This morning, we're profiling farmers who are at the forefront of agriculture. They're winners and finalists of this year's Top Producer Awards. Those awards were handed out earlier this year in Nashville, Tennessee. We had 3 top producer finalists, with one of them honored as Top Producer of the Year. A trailblazer and a top producer of tomorrow were also honored. So let's find out what makes these award winners outstanding. We begin in South Dakota, where a generational dairy embraced a tradition of quality, hard work, and family. The work never stops at Modak Dairy in Goodwin, South Dakota. Each day, a reflection of a rich history that dates back to 1894. Carried now by 4 generations, including today's owners, Jim and Greg Mose.
When we were first started out, we had 30 cows in a tie stall barn.
From there, Modak grew first to 300 head and then expanded into the current facility built in 2008.
We increased at that time to 2,000 cows. Since then, since 2008, we expanded into a heifer facility.
They pride themselves on producing high-quality milk with a total milk solid content of 8.6% used for cheese manufacturing. Greg's brother Jim oversees crop production, which provides nearly all of the feed for the operation.
We're around that 4,000 acres we farm, and around 1,800 is corn, and then we run about 1,100 of alfalfa.
Crops are produced sustainably using GPS and prescription farm data. The dairy recycles their liquid manure and injects it into the soil to cut input costs.
We don't buy a lot of commercial fertilizer. Mostly, we spend $50,000 a year on commercial fertilizer. The rest is all goes through the cattle and comes back out as a byproduct, for a good product for the land.
They also plant cover crops to improve soil health and provide additional feed for younger stock. The 5th generation is represented by Greg and Julie's son Jacob. He manages a first-in-the-nation calf and heifer facility that they built back in 2021, which condensed 17 production sites into one location. Modak has continued to innovate through their company structure and enterprising in each area. But Mose gives the real credit for their success to their people.
40-some families is what I like to say. They're families to us. We have people that are husbands and wives, kids, daughters, uncles and aunts. They're all working here somewhere on this operation.
We have vendors that are on here, even our hoof trimmers are on here, our breeders. There's employees that have been here almost 40 years on this board, and there's something to be said about that too. You try and take care of them and give them the lifestyle that we have.
A big part of Modak's legacy: provide agricultural growth for the community and opportunities for their family, as the 6th generation prepares to walk in their footsteps. Congratulations to Modak Dairy, a finalist for the 2023 Top Producer of the Year. And you'll meet other Top Producer finalists coming up, including the Top Producer of the Year. And she's a farm girl at heart, but she's breaking stereotypes left and right. Meet this Top Producer trailblazer next.
AgDay is sponsored by Germinator Closing Wheels. Germinator steel closing wheels, perfected in conventional, excels in no-till. Order 12 to 16 rows today and qualify for free shipping or 20% off an end zone moisture management package.
We're We're continuing this morning to bring you stories from this year's Top Producer Award winners. This year's Executive Women in Agriculture Trailblazer Award winner is Marcia Ruff. And as AgDay's Michelle Rook found out, the days are full for this self-proclaimed Ohio farm girl.
Marcia Ruff considers herself blessed to live and work in agriculture, and from an early age, she knew she would farm.
I grew up as a farm girl and I loved it, and I always wanted to be a farm girl. So even though I'm this age, I'm still a farm girl.
Today, that farm girl runs Ruff Farms near Circleville, Ohio with her husband Mark and 3 children. The diversified operation includes various ag businesses, beef cattle, and nearly 4,000 crop acres.
We raise corn and beans and wheat, main crops around here. So we do that, but the offshoots of that are that we have an ear corn business. We're already raising the corn, but we have this kind of specialty part of it, doing the ear corn. And then we also have a container loading facility to market our beans.
They partnered with Farmers Business Network to build and operate that grain handling and container loading facility. In its second year, they're under contract to deliver beans to CHS for a premium.
The most recent containers we've loaded, and the ones we'll be loading then from here on out, this season likely, will go to Malaysia. But those are also food grade going into the human consumption market.
And speaking of business innovation, they also do lawn seeding, install drain tile, and have a 50-acre ear corn business that started as an FFA project for eldest son Matt until the COVID-19 lockdown.
During the pandemic, when everything shut down, people must have been home watching their squirrels, and the sales went through the roof. Instead of 15 boxes a day, he was selling 150 boxes a day.
So today, it's a full-time enterprise managed by younger brother Mitchell. Sales are primarily on Amazon with customers across the U.S. Marcia plays an integral role in this and every other aspect of their operation.
So I've drilled beans, I've drilled wheat in the middle of the night, and following along as things get harvested and things like that. You know, I'm the shuttle driver for everybody moving pieces. I've delivered the meals to the field.
In addition to agriculture, Marcia has another passion: education.
My heart is with kids. Every job I ever have, you can probably attribute it that I'm teaching.
She's been a 4-H advisor for 25 years and a teacher for 27 years, and she uses that role to educate and advocate for agriculture and food production.
Do you know the hen is the girl chicken that lays the eggs? Yes, I do, and now you know it too. You know, if I can work in those things.
Marcia says as a female producer, she has broken the stereotype about farming with her students, and her message for other females is not to trivialize their role in the operation.
You don't have to be the one that's driving the combine to be more than the farm wife. There's so many working parts about what goes on a farm.
And that attitude and spirit is why Marcia Ruff is this year's Executive Women in Agriculture Trailblazer Award winner.
Some farming operations are spread out over hundreds of miles, even multiple states. So how does one large family farming operation stay focused and keep customers coming? We'll meet another Top Producer of the Year finalist next. You've met one finalist for Top Producer of the Year. Now, here is another. Engel Family Farms in Hanover, Virginia. The short drive from home to the office gives first-generation farmer Kevin Engel just enough time to start his day.
Give thanks for a lot of stuff and put in a few requests too.
Upon arrival, the hustle begins. This Hanover, Virginia-based operation stretches across 23,000 acres and grows everything from corn to soybeans, milo to rapeseed, even wheat.
This is no easy task. We don't hunt, we don't fish, we farm.
Grown, harvested, and trucked to mills feeding poultry, pork, even people.
7 days a week most of the time, almost year round.
It's a work ethic he learned from his mentor.
I guess my biggest mentor is that man right there. On the wall, picture of my father.
His father moved to Virginia from Illinois to be a farm manager, and his passion bled across generations.
My dad had a tremendous work ethic. I mean, you know, farming was just, he lived and breathed it. Couldn't get enough of it.
Watching him, Kevin developed his own interest in the business.
People ask me what I do for a hobby. I said, farm.
Today, his family loves it as well. All 3 of his kids work in the operation. Chris runs logistics, manages trucks, deliveries, farm crews, and everything in between.
One of the things you pick up from him is he's always kind to everybody he meets and always tries to help everybody he meets.
Son Casey handles the technology and precision side of the operation.
As technology changes every day in agriculture, it can get rather overwhelming.
While daughter Savannah keeps the office, partnerships, and paperwork in line.
It's an interesting dynamic, but it works for us, yeah. And I'm so grateful to have them because I wouldn't want to do it without them.
Together, this modern farm delivers grain to some of the biggest agribusinesses on the East Coast: Purdue, Tyson, Smithfield, and Bird Mills, to name a few.
Some farmers have a tendency to think that they are the customer when they're buying equipment and buying fertilizer and seed. And then when they sell their grain, they think they're the customer then too. In my opinion, you can't be the customer coming and going. Our customers are the grain buyers.
Close ties to their customers and proximity to the Chesapeake Bay is also why they planted some 16,000 acres of cover crops this year via airplane.
When you can get your people to really say they enjoy what they're doing, they've got to feel like family. I want that culture to continue.
A culture of hard work, respect, and the pure joy of farming.
God's promised us all increase if we work hard and do our part. Boy, He certainly fulfilled His promise to me and my family.
Congratulations to Kevin Engel and the Engel family, a finalist for the 2023 Top Producer of the Year. Still ahead, building an operation from the ground up can be tough to do. But one rancher is making it happen one calf at a time. See why he's this year's Top Producer Horizon Award winner next. A rancher from Nebraska is starting to make a name for himself in the cattle business. Michelle Rook shows us why he's the winner of the Tomorrow's Top Producer Horizon Award.
Trey Wasserberger always wanted to be a cowboy, but there was no opportunity in his family. Instead, his journey into the purebred business started in October of 2016.
Greg Wilkie put us together and said, I want you to meet Bill Rischel. He's a legend within the Angus breed.
The two met at the ranch near North Platte, Nebraska. Rischel quickly saw the passion Trey had for the cattle business and within a matter of weeks made him his protege. Trey never owned registered stock prior to that, but he and wife Dana jumped in with both feet.
And then January 1, I owned a seed stock business and never even worked on one. In March, I had my first bull sale. Now this will be our 5th bull sale of our own, and we've been growing it from 112 bulls that first year to about 400 this year.
Those bulls are sold in 30+ states, and to show accountability, commercial customers can sell or consign their feeder cattle into the first of its kind TD feed test.
We do it about a $25,000 award, 5 categories for those customers in the TD feed test, and prime percentage and CAB percentage, highest yield, which is a lot of value there. Residual daily gain, average daily gain, ADG, so that's about 5,000 to each category.
TD Angus also owns 1,200 registered cows, and to accelerate genetic improvements, they put 300 to 400 embryos a year in their own and customers' herds. They also conduct DNA and genomic testing on all the offspring.
I want to DNA that calf at birth and have him registered with his DNA, because if I like what happened genetically, I might do it again.
TD Angus specializes in cattle procurement and heifer development and runs 4,500 yearlings on grass and develops 400 to 600 commercial bred heifers a year.
We'll go back out there and try to buy those calves back, those steer calves specifically, and also do a heifer development program for the heifer calves, so we have an avenue for both sets of calves. And then usually try to get them back here to our family feedlot.
And that commercial feed yard features their own genetics and their own feed.
Kirk Olson, Dana's dad, feeds about 50,000. And our feed test gets about 4,000 or 5,000 every year. So that's a big part of our business as well.
But Wasserbergers didn't stop there. The pandemic showed them how fragile the food supply and the cattle market was. And from that, sustainable beef was born.
We got, first time ever, we actually have under one roof and under one team of sustainable beef. We have We have a seed stock producer that's going to provide a high marbling, high tenderness product to sire these calves. That's going to go out, hopefully all over the country, come back to our family feedlot, and then go to, sustainable beef, and then go into Walmart's feed supply.
This is a one-of-a-kind supply chain partnership with Walmart, and it stemmed from shared sustainability goals.
What's really cool is our carbon footprint is limited, all without 15 miles of each other. These bulls, our feedlot, and our packing plant and the Walmart distribution center are all within 15 miles of each other. And that's huge, and we're proud of that.
The nearly $400 million plant is currently under construction and will be ready for business in 2024. Wasserberger says it's the last step in their conception to consumer model, and it's just one of the reasons this visionary leader is tomorrow's Top Producer Horizon Award winner.
Still ahead, meet this year's Top Producer of the Year and a farm that's all about the future in family.
In the Country on Ag Day is brought to you by Pivot Bio. What if you had the nitrogen you need already on seed? Pivot Bio is the first company to apply nitrogen on seed. The nitrogen you need, now on seed, from Pivot Bio. Learn more at pivotbio.com.
All of our top producer finalists were honored at this year's Top Producer Summit in Nashville, Tennessee, and that includes the Top Producer of the Year. And that award goes to Silent Shade Planting Company of Belzoni, Mississippi. The Jack family saying it was a great honor to receive the award, joining the company of past winners they've always looked up to. So let's head to Mississippi and meet the Jack family that's all about looking forward. To tell the story of Silent Shade Planting Company, you have to start a generation earlier with Willard Jack's journey in 1979 from Canada to Mississippi.
We were looking for the ability to put together a larger operation.
The newly married farmer stumbled across this less expensive land with room for growth. Willard and his wife met the challenge head on. As the operation grew, so did the family. But an unexpected obstacle resulted in a course change that put son Jeremy on a new path.
He thought he wanted to work in D.C., and he worked there for a while, and about the time he'd been up there a little while, I was diagnosed with cancer. And his mother said, well, son, you got two choices. You can stay in D.C., we're going to sell this if your father gets any sicker, or you can come back home to run it. And he said, well, I'm not sure I really like this that well up there. I think I'll come home.
And within 5 years, Jeremy took over the day-to-day operations of Silent Shade. Today, they farm across more than 11,000 acres in the Mississippi Delta.
He basically runs it every day. He comes and starts the crew out, and he runs the operation. His sister is CFO, and she looks after all that part of the business. His wife has her responsibility. My wife has her responsibilities.
We've got a lot of different things going on every day, and I think that's the diversity of our operation, being cotton, corn, soybeans, rice. So there's always something going on, and the only way to keep everybody on the same page is to over-communicate as much as we can.
From a variety of crops that require irrigation to aerial fertilizer applications, even moving dirt and managing their own trucking company, the management piece of Silent Shade is the key. The work is done together, line by line, plan by plan. It's all discussed in the open, and it's not just decisions for today. Farming for the future is rooted in everything this operation does.
It goes back to the decisions that we're making today might not be beneficial for our lifetime, but for the future of the generation, it will be.
Through the help of technology and a dedicated team of employees, continuous improvement sprouts in every step.
For years and years, we've had data flowing in. We didn't know what we could do with it all. We just had bunches of garbage data.
Data that at the time didn't benefit the overall goal. Now, that data and subsequent technology is a tool allowing the farm to hold sway over decisions from anywhere.
Now, the great thing is we can have all this good information instantly of what we're looking at, how we're doing it.
It's evident just how much Silent Shade has grown. Success that germinates by prioritizing their farm family and how they care for this land, both of which continue to be some of life's greatest gifts. Congratulations to the Jack family and Silent Shade on being a 2023 finalist for Top Producer of the Year. Congratulations to all of this year's Top Producer Award winners. And that's all the time we have this morning. From all of us here at AgDay, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Have a great day.